I love that you brought in this notion of curiosity. And way back when I was in corporate, that is how we talked about crossing those differences, right? That line of differences, this notion of curiosity. It's easy to stay in, your little space in your little box and make assumptions about what you think that person means and ascribe meaning to what you think that thing means. And you most of the time are wrong. And so it's this idea of asking or saying, can you tell me more about this? Like, on the surface, I don't quite understand. I think I might be making an assumption about where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I may be wrong, but tell me why you feel that way. Tell me more about that. That to me is such a simple step, but it opens the door for so much learning and so much understanding that I think it is tremendously undervalued.
Do you think that also does that also require some courage on the part of the leader?
Absolutely.
Because you might hear something that kind of runs counter to what you believe the world to be, right?
Absolutely. There's risk involved in that but there's risk involved in anything, right? There's risk in falling in love. There's risk in,
getting in your car and driving.
Right? I mean, seriously,
yeah.
There's risk involved. And for a lot of people though, that's scary. That's scary. It's scary to encounter someone who might have a different opinion, because what you might realize is that your position was wrong. And what if that person is right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
well, you know what?
I never thought about it from that
perspective. But you know what? Before. What you're saying there, Toya, is so spot on, because I've advocated, I've, taught all of the things around this idea about what do we do with these emotions?
Mm-hmm.
How are we supposed to handle them? How are we going to manage them? And I think to myself that when that fear comes, I get the atypical responses. Mm-hmm. I gotta get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But if we can draw on that courage, if we can build the courage to go, hold on, you're afraid now.
Mm-hmm.
What are you afraid of?
Yes.
What is it that makes you feel afraid?
Right.
Where does that come from?
Yes.
Because if I can go there, and for our audience, I understand some of this can connect to things that are traumatic in nature. It's
Mm-hmm.
not me saying, oh, just forget about all that trauma stuff and just go anyway. If you're in that place, it may not be healthy for you to go.
Yes.
But if you are at that sort of level of I don't know, Toya, I want to call it where you're fine, but it's more of you're stable.
Yeah,
let's use that term.
Sure.
If you are stable, to go to that place and be willing to go, wait a minute, I'm afraid because my mom always said that when I encountered this,
Mm-hmm.
you better be careful.
Yes.
I don't necessarily know if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I should probably listen and give this person another opportunity or more opportunities to explain.
Yeah.
And hey, by the way, it's okay if I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking for you to turn in that particular badge.
Mm-hmm.
But the real danger is if you do allow the emotion to drive you.
Yeah.
In the sense of driving you to making decisions that are going to rob you of maybe an opportunity, right?
Yes.